Just when I needed it at the end of the war, Stephen went on, as if constrained to defend himself against imputations which had never been spoken, I quite rightly decided to have 6 years of life, and let the future go to pot. You agree with that, I do hope, Bridger? Yes, sir, said Bridger, rattling plates and cups together. Well, it's gone. Oh, do stop that row, man. How can I tell you the story of my young life while you're playing at thunderstorms with that crockery? Perhaps Stephen's nerves were not quite so non-existent as he would have liked to suppose. Bridger stopped rattling and stood respectfully to attention. Anyhow, Stephen continued, the long and the short of it is that I've come to the end, Bridger. Exit Stephen Munro, Esquire, gentleman of leisure, through trapdoor left. Enter Stephen Munro, world's worker. In other words, I've got to start on a job of hard labour. Yes, sir, Bridger agreed laconically. You're a difficult person to move, Bridger, Stephen complained, gazing at his servitor not without admiration. Would you say anything except, yes, sir, if an angel came and called you one night and told you the last trump was blowing the reveille and you were wanted on parade? I suppose you realize that what this mess of verbiage really amounts to, as far as you're concerned, is the sack. Yes, sir. Stephen sighed. One day I shall give you a dictionary, Bridger. I think you'll find it interesting reading. Some of the simpler bits you might even learn by heart. Words like and the, and even no, you know? No, don't begin eyeing the crocks. You can wash them up later if it's worth the trouble. For the moment you've got to listen to me. I must talk to somebody, and you're the only person available. I've been looking for a job now for 13 weeks, Bridger. Yes, sir. A relapse, Stephen commented, aside. Well, never mind. Yes, for 13 weeks. And could I find one? No, I could not. There seems to be a distinct slump in the market for promising young men. However, I did land one in the end, and what's more, I start work this very day, which is lucky, for I've only just got enough money to pay you a month's wages in lieu of notice, or whatever the phrase is, and buy a ticket to take me down there. Yes, sir. All the furniture and everything portable in here was sold weeks ago, and the proceeds, I regret to say, spent. You can pack a couple of suitcases with what clothes I've got left, and hang on to anything you particularly fancy. Got that? Yes, sir. Stephen jumped up suddenly and hurled the stub of his cigarette into the fireplace. Bridger, do you think an earthquake would surprise you? Really, you are the most exasperating man. Still, I've not finished yet. I wasn't going to tell you this last bit, but you've goaded me into it. Prepare for the first and last time in your life to be genuinely startled, Bridger. This post I told you I've got. Down false pride, and up Steve, the world's toiler. I've taken on a job as a footman, Bridger. Stephen eyed his servitor closely. Not a blench was visible. Yes, sir, he replied calmly. Oh, Lord, Stephen groaned. You're not human, Bridger, really you're not. You ought to see a doctor about it. And then at last Bridger spoke. You see, sir, said Bridger quite chattily, I knew all this before. The deuce you did? How on earth? These things get about, sir, replied Bridger vaguely, his stolid face completely without expression. You've got a job with Lady Susan Carey at Wintringham Hall, Sussex. They haven't had a footman there lately, only a butler, he continued, amazingly. But Lady Susan's going to do a bit more entertaining now, so they think they'd like a footman as well. You're expected to assume your duties after lunch this afternoon, as a house party is arriving today. If master could not startle man, certainly man succeeded very thoroughly in startling master. Stephen gazed at him as if he could hardly believe his ears. How in the name of all that's holy do you know all this? He managed to articulate. Bridger lifted the tray and turned towards the door. Because I took the liberty of applying for the post of under-gardener myself, sir, seeing that you wouldn't be wanting me any longer. I start work there this afternoon. I shall be able to see your luggage safely to the hall for you.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.